of course, I was waiting for them to drop both of the lovely things. And remember, they only had half of the picture. Now they have the full picture, and all of the characters have been revealed. And for some reason, they also dropped all of the legendary powers. So we will be going over all the legendary powers. And the conversation that I want to have with you guys is it strong enough? Now, our only example here is the guy in the middle, the saint himself, Asol, and he's a 4-star. Eventually, they're going to have to make him 6-star, I mean, at this point, which is going to feel bad. Actually, they might not be able to, because if they make him a 6-star, a lot of people that have been collecting his fragments for so long and didn't get to use it for that will probably get pissed. But you know what, we cross that bridge when we cross it, right? So we're gonna go through each of the ones that they have revealed here, and I'm gonna base it off of what they have in Runeterra. So let me actually, I gotta open that up, right? Play. And then by going with that, we'll be able to see how effective it is and how strong that's gonna be. And obviously we don't know how long that is. I want to quickly go over the patch notes here. And that is it. So yes, sorry for the weird kind of intro, but I'm super excited because I've definitely seen a couple of them. Pretty much you see all these are the cool Celestials. They finally started doing it, which is really cool. I like that. And they have a few things that I just want to go over here. This is the thing, and these are all the characters. So this is officially listed. You already saw it in the picture, but if you couldn't see the picture, Viego, Aatrox, Ashe, Darius, Ekko, Gwen, Jinx, Kaisa, Lillia, Lux, Miss Fortune, Morgana, Neeko, Nora, Samira, Timala, I know it's Taliyah, shut up, Vayne, Vex, Volibear, and Yuumi. So there's a decent amount of characters that are not getting blessed. You know, so that's, you know, they'll hopefully, I don't know what decision they made. It might honestly just be marketing. So they're talking about the new currencies here. We'll have to see how they are. Regional gemstones, crystals, and shards have been added alongside champion fragments and can now be used to power up the champion's constellation based on their regional alignment. So like, oh, I'm using Ionia's. I guess that's how it is. So you're using that. So that seems cool. Are there 20 regions? I don't feel like there were 20 regions, but I guess that's why they did that. And then you can get the diamond vaults. That's some irrelevant stuff. This is just the bundles. These are the bundles that they're going to be doing, intro bundles. So now there's more stuff to spend money on. So POC is what they're going to be focusing on. So that's going to be a thing. Now you can buy a bundle, crystal bundles, Nova Crystal plus 150 gemstones. So yeah, this is getting into my old school territory of being a content creator for mobile games, is that this is kind of what it's seeming like. So you're going to be trying to get these bundles and to max out. I wonder how much it's going to cost on release to max out a thing. They're also adding new powers each round. The first time an enemy summons a unit, frostbite it. So it's like similar to the other one, and this one's pretty cool too. It's supposed to finale when an enemy dies outside of combat, deal 4 to the nexus. That can be crazy if they keep summoning units, I guess. And then bounty board, summoning a random one cost last breath. That's okay. So they changed Darius as well. I think this is important to note when we look at his other things. So instead of summon, which could be bad, and I found that when I did use Darius, sometimes this did get a little bit annoying. You summon a unit or something like, let's say like Undying comes back, and it comes back and then boom, it just takes up your +2 overwhelm thing, which is kind of annoying. So now it's play, when you play it, so something from the hand. And the other could be true, could be annoying, but I think that play is a little bit better, especially if you can like revive something or anything like that. And then same thing with Miss Fortune. They just changed up a couple things, and I'm just going through because this is not the stuff I really want to talk about. Here we are. Spectral Scissors is now changed, so it's not granted ally granted support ally keywords ephemeral and summon an exact copy of attacking, and if it was a support champion it would just link all forever. Now it's a follower. If my supported ally is a follower, granted ephemeral and summon an exact copy of it attacking. So you can kind of do the same thing, but it would have to be actually no, you can't do the same thing at all, because it would have to be a champion, unless the follower has the same thing, which I feel like only Nidalee can pull that off, like by making it a bush and then somehow making it the bush chaining on itself, but I think that no one can do it. So they nerfed it so that stupid combo doesn't go off. It was a weird buggy glitch, and I know people use it for time saving, but you know, that was gross. The thing here also is that the Voidling shell thing is now fixed. I did come across this bug once, that like these things were having different definitions of what they're supposed to do, so that's weird. But the most important thing that I wanted to say, well, first let's go with this. Conch just has been removed. Sorry, buddy. it didn't work out for you. It was a bad choice. It was really, so you got Withering Rail. But this is the most important thing here, is that Vex's 2-star power now goes through mitigation. So when they have Tough or if they have Barrier, it should do that, because it says instead of doing damage, it does this instead. So when you use the Gloom, anything that just puts Gloom on something, it doesn't matter if it has Barrier or Tough. So now if it says it does 3 damage and it says instead does Gloom, then boom. They do need to make sure that this still works for the items that says this gives Gloom. Hopefully that still works, but they're specifying just Vex's thing, even though it's also like a power that you can achieve, or it can be on certain items. So hopefully that's good. So I just wanted to touch on that. That's pretty cool. Let's get on to the powers and see who does what. So I have all of them here. They are on Runeterra AR currently, and we're just gonna go one by one. And first is the thing. We already don't want to go through that, right? That's already been a thing. So first is going to be, when you gain the attack token, give allies +4/+0. This is obviously for Samira. It's also our icon, but I know some of the icons are reused, right? So for Samira, when you gain the thing, so when she's leveled and she rallies, and then also she can obviously get the level up rally, so she can get an initial rally right in the beginning. I feel like that is not that strong. I feel like, oh yeah, I forgot. I have to sometimes switch between this and the other thing, but see, Runeterra is supposed to, boom. Focus, there it is. I feel like that's not strong enough, because if it's Grant, it's not Grant, right? Yeah, this is gift for this round, so I feel like that's not as crazy. You guys let me know. So far I feel like Samira, I probably wouldn't want to invest into her that much. It is a nice damage boost, helps you push damage, and it's all your allies. And every time you pretty much get the rally, every time you turn, they get +4 across the board. It's a cute thing, but it's not that crazy. Next up, we're gonna have Darken Awaken. When you summon or transform a Darken, double its stats. Let's check that out. Obviously for the boy Aatrox, doesn't do anything here. It's just like additional new passive that he has. Now obviously himself is a Darken, so he'll just get double his stats, and then anytime that especially if you have Aatrox leveled and he's reducing the cost of the Darken allies, you're gonna start getting a bunch of Darken on the field. Plus, it also says when they transform, right? So technically Aatrox should then summon double, and then he'll double again, almost like how Karma in the ASOL run should work. So that's really, really strong, right? So when so Aatrox will then become like a 12, and then he becomes like a 24 overwhelm and all this other good crazy stuff. Like well, actually even higher than that, because when he transforms, he turns into like a 10-10, and then they would transform that into like maybe Aatrox will be huge, and then all his Darken buddies will be crazy. That to me is very strong. I feel like this is significant enough to want to invest into Aatrox and go into that thing. So I think Aatrox. So we are 1 for 1 right now. 1 for 1. Next up is going to be Doom of All. When you summon a Titanic ally, grant it +2/+2 for each stack of Sigil of the Storm. Oh, I'm assuming that it consumes, right? So let's go to Volley. So what's crazy about Volley is that when you slay a unit, you summon 2 Sigil of the Storm, and then when you summon a thing, and which is crazy, actually, which is nuts, is because it says when you summon, right? It's not when you play, right? When you summon a Titanic ally, grant it +2/+2 for each stack of Sigil. So if you have a way to, like, let's just say you have Lillia, right? And you sleep a Titanic unit, you're gonna get +2/+2 for all the Sigils of the Storm that are just sitting there. Now, they sometimes don't even get to come on the field because of the fact that you already filled out a whole board. But the fact that you can summon it, and a lot of times the issue with Volley is that you would have a bunch of these stacks, right? You would have a bunch of them, you would have a bunch of stacks, and you're like, I don't really want to use it. It's kind of a waste. But with this, you'll just use it. Why not? Also creating Titanic allies, and like I said, summoning them. No. So yeah, so we got Volley Aatrox, absolutely bugged out amazing. Super, super good. Let's wait, I forgot to change it back. It's gonna be so crazy to go back and forth between those two screens, but yes, super, super good. So Volley Aatrox, good in my opinion. Let me know what your guys' opinion are in the comment section below as well, right? And they're not telling me which one these are. I have to pretty much guess. So Dream Woven Spirits. Each round, the first time you play a unit, summon an ephemeral copy of it attacking. So you play that unit and it summons an ephemeral copy. This obviously looks to me would be Lillia's. So you play Lillia, she summons it, which is another summon, and then it's attacking. It's gonna help her do the thing. So that seems good. It obviously the only time that would be bad is it actually could be really bad. It could be really bad. Let's just go over to Lillia real quick. I know this thing is weird, but it's so I can like focus on the other thing. So I'll just keep it so I can go back and forth pretty easily. So it's when you play. So the first time I play Lillia, it's fine. It's not her that's gonna die. But if I play a unit and they have something that benefits off of it attacking, each round that's gonna happen, right? So I feel like that's a little weird. Like, it's a little weird, right? Because I do like the fact that it's gonna summon, and it's pretty much like now I don't have to get stabilized. I don't have to get any of that stuff, and it's also a play. So it would be weird if it would be crazier if it said the first time a unit is summoned, it just starts to attack. That'd be kind of better for you because it would come out and then it would attack. But I feel like that would be crazy to code, because what if they're attacking, I put something to sleep and then it comes out of the sleep bubble and then it would just be attacking as well. So I feel like they couldn't do that. So I feel like this is a good thing overall for what the game plan is, but I also feel like it's that forced attack will be wrong. Not wrong, but I feel like it could mess up what you're trying to do, because sometimes there are encounters where you don't want to attack and they're going to get more benefit off of you attacking into their unit, unless that unit's big. But Lillia's units are not big from the hand. They're not big when they're played. They're usually big after being on the field for a while. So I don't know. But the whole purpose of it is that a lot of stuff in Lillia's deck do have summon effects, so you're getting technically a double. You're doubling the summon effect almost immediately. So I guess we'll see. This one I'll have to put into it's good, so I guess it's a 3, but it's definitely questionable. And then we have this. This is one of the ones I read to my friend, and when an enemy dies outside of combat, grant other enemies gloom. With the new change that they just did, it's absolutely giga busted. This is so strong. For the simple fact that when something dies of gloom and then it gives gloom to other things and then those things die of gloom. So let's just say that one thing has gloom on it and then he summons a whole board of things, right? And then that thing dies and then that thing, it's a chain reaction, which I feel like it might freeze the game, because it could be a chain cascading reaction of things getting gloom and then all just kind of dying. And I feel like that alone is just insanely strong, especially like I said with gloom, and then now you're gonna have an easier time putting gloom on targets. I think Vex might be the new OP. I don't know, Morgana is also one of the new characters, so I can't say it's better than Morgana, but the ability to really reduce the amount of damage you're taking, and if Vex is on the field, that is deal 2 gloom to everything, boom, across the board, and then something else dies, 2 gloom to everything across the board. So yeah, no, Vex is gonna be insane. So far only one, just being Samira, and it kind of fits Samira, right? Because Samira's like off in the corner here. It's like it's almost as if they forgot about her. So it kind of makes sense. All right, let's go to the next one. Ekko, future firepower. When you see a unit in a prediction, double its stats. So before, I'm assuming this is going to be separate because it was +2/+2 and give it a keyword. I don't know if they're saying that they're gonna remove the keyword aspect of it. The keyword aspect of it was kind of cool, but if it was for this to double the stats, that's insane for Ekko. You just literally leave the unit in there, especially the board patrols, whatever the hell they are, the skeet borders, they're gonna just be huge. They're gonna come out, double the stats immediately. I'm assuming the keyword stuff is still going to stay, and you're gonna get this as well, and that's just gonna blow Ekko out of the water. So this one's a phenomenal thing. I could just go and just show you guys for a second real quick. So yeah, see a unit in a prediction, granted +2/+2, and a random keyword. It doesn't say that, it says it's the same thing. So I'm assuming it's +2/+2, random keyword, and then double its stats after that point, in which those drop borders, that's what it is. Drop borders would become huge. They start off as 3/3s, then you make them stronger, so you would make them a 2/2, so it's a 5/5, and then you double it, which will make it a 10/10, summoning on the board with a keyword. Insane. But even if it doesn't, it would be a 6/6, and if you have Spirit of the Burrow, 6/6 with all those fancy stuff on there, and yeah, that's just, whew, that's crazy. So Ekko definitely doing good, doing amazing. So far, only one, still on 1. So get Jinx. Your spells and skills deal double damage. It's so funny to see this because I was basically saying that for this imaginary Gangplank that I was saying. Someone said Gangplank could be one of them. Spells and skills do double the damage is really cool for Jinx, even though you know, it's all about her doing, like, you're just gonna nuke stuff. It's gonna help her like, she had trouble dealing with she's like a slight bit of trouble dealing with Lissandra, but with that she'll never have trouble dealing with anything. They once again put her in a tier that's just crazy because this is a passive. It has nothing to do with Jinx being on the board. It's just a overall thing, so you can literally just put a couple spells, and then yes, if you do the loose cannon build, the loose cannons are all doing 6 damage. They're just doubled. And then if you have the, what is it, Luden's Ekko, there's like more than 6, like it's just insane. Any damage going to the Nexus, it has to be a spell skill. Her passive's that 1 damage, that's a completely different thing. But you'll even be able to deal with I Am Inevitable with Jinx, like, no problem. It's not, I'm not even, that's just too much. And it doesn't count as, she doesn't have anything else though, right? Yeah, this won't count to it. What's the worst that can happen? Won't count to it. But the Super Mega Death Rockets will be 6 damage, deal 2 to all, and any other damage boosting stuff that you get for your loose cannons and stuff. Your Get Excited are doing 6 damage to Nexus or to a unit. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I would say that you don't need to get that though. I would say that Jinx, even with this fun passive here, I would say that you definitely don't need to rush to get this. It's definitely a win more thing because she pretty much dominates every single encounter except Lissandra with that one thing, like if it has an I Am Inevitable, which is a random chance for it to happen. So I would think that as good as this is, you don't really need to get it. I wouldn't invest into Jinx. I would probably put that on the back burner, honestly. Some of these other ones, like Everything is Miserable, Everything is Misery, some of these other ones are more interesting because it's going to be investment, and I'm going to probably be pretty good at discussing that because I've been playing mobile games so long, is that it's going to be a thing about investment. What's actually worth it for you to go for? Because a lot of people are going to be coming back to POC. They're going to try out POC. It's in the League of Legends. It has the button now, so you're really going to be like, should I really invest into Jinx? And it's going to be like, yes, but you don't need to invest that deep is what's going to happen. You don't need this to win with Jinx, like, not even close. Let's go to the next one. The Gift of Aatrox. When you decrease an enemy's power, randomly distribute that power among allies. Oh, in hand. Oh, in hand. This is obviously for Ashe. So when you frostbite a unit, so let's say especially, oh my god, I would do this just to fight against Asol, all those double attack thing, and then you decrease it. And you just decrease it for the turn. So every turn you're pumping up your allies. Bard could never. And that's probably why they didn't pick Bard. This is insane power. And it's just the power, so it's not the defense. And yeah, that is an insanely strong buff. You're taking 30, and it's randomly distribute the power among allies. So if you only have 1 card in hand, 1 ally, 1 like unit in hand, it's getting all that power, and then you summon it. Now the only thing is that with Ashe, let's go to Ashe actually. As you can see, my Ashe is doing really good. Where is she? Level 1, 2-star. She doesn't have anything currently, and I'll even star up. It's just vulnerable. Frostbite, the strongest enemy. That strongest enemy's power is now going to get distributed amongst into your thing. The problem with it though is that, like I said, it goes to the hand. So it goes into the hand, and then you have to play that unit, which is good because you can't, at the current moment, you can't play Ashe on turn 1. So you're pretty much going to just be pumping up your Ashe or whatever champion that you get when she's level 20, right? You're going to get a champion. So you definitely have at least 1 ally in the hand, and then you can just kind of have it sitting there, right? And then you have the option of getting more Titanic stuff to add on top of it. I feel like with Ashe, since she's being like relatively weaker, I do feel like this is a cool thing to have. If you liked Ashe and you have her invested and you're like, yo, let me just get her a little bit way stronger, this will definitely be the go, because for the first couple turns, you just have this power, and like your hand gets crazy strong. And it doesn't, obviously, it's not always going to be, you're not always going to be blessed with 1 unit and a bunch of spells. So all your other units will start to get blessed from it. You can have some empowered units, maybe you pick up during the run. That's going to be pretty cool. Definitely a goodie. So once again, only one I don't like is Samira. Samira's the only one I'm like, I mean, if you rally a jillion times, but she doesn't have anything in her kit that helps her rally. I would have liked for Samira to get like copy target or something like that. So yeah, let's keep going. Guns blazing. Obviously this is MF. While in combat, so it's while you're attacking, your spells and skills deal 4 extra damage. It's very similar to her Siren. All right, the MS Siren thing is what it is, but the problem is that MF, she does have a way to attack, right? Misfortune has that she summons these powder monkeys, right? So, and then if you star it up, you get the powder monkey every turn. It gives you a free attack. If Misfortune's on the field, that skill is doing what? 5 damage. It's +4. This thing is saying +4. So +4 damage. And with that, it's going to be that That's kind of nuts. So it's 5 damage when you're attacking and 5 damage to anything that's trying to block. I would say that is a significant increase. If you want to play Misfortune, you like her style, and you want to play that, yeah, that's good. But plus, while in combat, your spell and skill. So you actually, if you really wanted to, can then you chain your Mystic Shot, right? And your Mystic Shot now does 6 damage because you're in combat. You know, so I do think that there's a lot of cooler implications with that. And it says while in combat, it does not say while attacking, but it does have to be in that phase where you're declaring attack and blockers, and then you can get all this crazy boost. It really makes you want to change up how your deck is being made too. Super cool. I like it. Definitely something to work forward. It just, I would obviously put this on the back burner. I would try to see like what else I could be doing, especially like I said, if it's region based, maybe this bilge water, maybe you don't want, if I don't know if I'm gonna waste all my bilge water stuff on this. So far it's been split, right? The only ones that I see so far is Lillia, not Lillia, this one is Shadow Isles, Bandle City. You know, it's kind of weird. Aatrox is his own region. He's a Runeterra region, so I don't know if is Runeterra just gonna be its own thing. That would be kind of awkward and weird, at least for the time being. So I'm assuming maybe he'll be Bandle City, and then Viego will be Shadow Isles. I'm assuming that's how that's gonna go, and we'll figure that out. And this obviously Bilge Water, but then again we have 2 Freljords. Which one is better, the Ashe one or the Volibear one? I'd rather go with Volibear, right? Because I already have Volibear invested, so I wouldn't even be able to do the Ashe one anytime soon. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm stalling. So Lady of Light. Each round, the first time you attack, refill 1 mana for each attacking ally and draw a spell. Yeah. Yeah, that's busted. I don't even yeah. That's just busted. So you're attacking with a full board, you're getting 5 mana back, and you draw a spell. Yeah. Illuminated Lux is just stupid. I don't know why they did this. I guess if you really, this is one of those things that is just to make it a little bit more fun. Draw a spell, you're getting mana back. You can play that spell most likely, and keep pushing and keep pushing damage or something like that. She didn't really need much. I think they also gave her this thing, which is like, I think that they have a couple epics that I might go over afterwards. It says if I'm Lux, +1 starting mana, game start, draw a follower that costs 2 or less, and granted Targon's Embrace, which is another support thing. So it's like, give me Luma Sprite, please. So yeah, if you remove the other guy from your deck, you get Luma Sprite all day, which is definitely going to happen. So I'll go over the epics a little bit later, but yeah, oh my god, this is just, it throws her over the top. So absolutely yes. And if you already like that playstyle, then just yes, just fully dive deep in, because it gets even crazier at the end. This is obviously for the girl Gwen. Game start, summon, game start. Summon 4 Ghastly Blands and rally. So you're automatically putting +4 because obviously the Ghastly Blands. Does this thing? No, it's just blue. Ghastly Blands, or actually we can just go. All right, these guys, the 2/1 ephemerals, you just throw those guys out there. That means on the beginning turn, you instantaneously can just throw them into the ether, and they'll throw them straight into the ether. They're going to be, you'll be +4. Also, if you need blockers, like if they have a really strong start, it's almost as if like this was built on the land that is Zed duplicate Zed, and like he open attacks pretty much, and like you're like, no, I'm good. But it's only game start though, so it's a relatively weak one because it's only game start and you rally. But if it's your attacking turn, the rally means absolutely nothing. You already had the attack turn, so it just seems a little weird. I would have to say that that's just. I would say this is Samira tier. For Gwen being one of the stronger ones, I would say this was underwhelming. I would have preferred if based on what some of the other ones got, I would have loved if it was like you just started to manipulate more of who was getting the hollowed buff. So it's the whole board. The whole board gets hollowed. You don't have to worry about left, right, and center. You just put everything in whatever order you want, and everyone gets the buff. I think that would have been cooler. So this one, very underwhelming. So we got 2, Samira and Gwen. I'm putting on the nudie, the non-analyst, I don't know. Shut up. Anyway, so we have Pop Blossom. When allies attack, deal 1 to all enemies and one enemy nexus. The only one, and enemy nexus increased by 1 for each attacking subtype ally. This is really good for Neeko. I don't think I need to explain that too much. It's just a really amazing thing. Neeko's already relatively strong, especially, I mean, I don't think in really regular, but she's definitely strong in, oh, I have her 3-star. Because she has a bunch of stuff. the Harmony of the Wild is going to allow you to, oh god, you gotta, I actually have to change that. You really can't see it. Each round, the first ally you play with a different subtype is going to cost 2 less, allowing you to really like flood the field a lot more. And if you, for each ally in the deck, if they don't have a subtype, you're going to grant it impact and then shapeshifter. So it allows them to, you have the shapeshifter, you'll definitely have a bunch of subtypes. And so you're going to be doing all that. If you have overwhelm, you can then put overwhelm, or they can give them overwhelm with that other, that fourth, what was it, like that fourth star power, and then give overwhelm. So now they have a way to clear the field before attacking. Like that's crazy. It's they can clear the field. They have overwhelm, which is very easy to get with the, I forgot what the thing is called. It's one of the epics relics that you can have. So this is just instantly great, awesome. Definitely would recommend if you like Neeko. You like Neeko? Who Neeko? You Neeko? So yeah, awesome, absolutely insane. Purge with silver. I wonder who that could be. So when an ally attacks, give it +4 this round. This is very similar to Samira. Now Vayne allows way more additional attacks than Samira does. Samira has a little bit more to work for than Vayne does. Vayne, wait, they create, let me just go into it. What am I doing? So when an ally is equipped, give it Scout this round, right? So, and then you have the golden spatula. If you have the attack token and fewer than 2 equipments in hand, create a golden spatula. And then, which is really cool, if it's literally, this is crazy, you create a golden spatula and it gets a random keyword. You use Vayne's vaulting aspect, right? Create the tumble, they call it the vault in the game. Equip it, the golden spatula, it has a random keyword on it, it gives you some really good stats, and then you get +4, +0. This really synergizes really crazy with one of her other builds. I don't know why I'm going this in depth for it, but I think it's called Chosen of the Stars. I think it is. Chosen by the Stars, Faded, Empowered 10, you get Overwhelm, Regen, and Challenger. Though the buff is temporary, the Regen will still kick in at the end of the turn, and the Augment will also kick in, so it's really easy to do with her. It's like probably one of her better builds. So it kind of like enhances her better build, her best build, but as you can see, if you don't have that, this +4, no quick attack. I mean, you can equip quick attack. I think quick attack is one of the things. So boom, maybe get that quick attack once you get that, if you don't have some of the best, more fancier stuff. But you definitely want to make sure that you +4 attack with no defense blocking you up. And yeah, you'll get also the stats from the spatula, but depending on what you're fighting, that could be problematic. So very boring, and only those allies. But when allies attack, so let's say you are attacking with the board like a normal attack, they all get +4, so you will be pushing insane damage. But that sometimes doesn't excite me as much, just pushing more damage. Lux does, because the Lux thing is like duplicating stats and the keywords, and it's more interesting than just we all attack and we all get +4, so it's literally +4, the multiply by 4 for each unit. You're attacking with a full board, that's 24 additional damage for no reason. Like, it's kind of crazy. Cool, but I wouldn't go hard in the paint for that. Like, Vayne's already great without it. But yeah, when you curse an enemy, grant allies +1. I feel like the problem with it is that, like, it's just a win more thing, and it helps you end games, because instead of you just sitting there cursing the same unit a bunch of times so it will never see the light of day, at least you'll start to get buffs from it. So I guess that's a thing. I guess. Kinda. I don't know. Seems okay. It's okay-ish. I wouldn't invest into it. Morgana is like insanely strong without it, so definitely don't need to do that at all. And we have this one. It has the Neeko thing on it, but we can tell that this is Nora's, because it says surprise summoning your portal summon level 2 champions. And again, this is just her power. So your first portal that pops out, so game start, and when you play a base cost 4 card, you plant a portal. So you can literally, in the beginning of the game, plant a mysterious portal, and then you draw one of the top 4 cards, your top card, and then that can summon a level 2 champion of any cost. It does not specify a cost. Giga busted. If you like Nora, you just get this. I can't even sit and explain this any longer. It's just like, of course. That's just busted. Like, that's so cool. That's like Howling Abyss on basalts. Like, it's basalts the thing? That's an old school, but it's on crack. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Definitely would invest into Nora, 100%. Next up, the Hand of Noxus, and this is obviously for Darius. The Hand of Noxus, when allies attack, summon a random Noxian ally with cost equal to your mana gems. I'm not doing that. I could see why that's probably why they did the change, because actually that kind of screws it up. because that would have been crazy to summon a Noxian ally, and it doesn't specify. Ally means it could be a champion, it could be literally anything. So if I was attacking with a 7 mana, I could have summoned a Scion, right? I could have summoned Scion, and he would have got overwhelmed and all that other stuff. But since it's play, I have to play a unit first and do it. So like the whole change that they made actually screws up the whole cool bigness of the thing. It's weird. And when allies attack is pretty good, because then if you have any free attacks, you can manipulate that. Now, Darius has a rally in his kit. So yeah, each round, the first time you summon an ally, it's summoned right now, but they say they're changing it to play, which seems weird now. Granted +4 in overwhelm. That would have happened to that Noxian ally, but what the cool part would have been each round, the first time you attack with 15 total power, you rally. So it's kind of to help assist with that, but now you don't have the summon ally. You just have to hope that the ally coming from the deck has a lot of attack. Not from the deck, sorry, it's coming from out of nowhere. It's a Noxian ally. So it could be crap. Like you can get something that just has no attack at all. So I'm gonna put that on the doo-doo list. Unfortunately, goes on the doo-doo list. I wouldn't invest into that. It doesn't do enough. It's not as cool as I would think it is. Next up is the power of friendship. Round start, grow all allies into the strongest ally stat this round. Is a temporary buff. It's obviously Yuumi, right? It's Yuumi, but that's freaking insane. So the strongest ally. So like whoever is your strongest, Yuumi's been buffing up, or whoever you've been targeting faded on. Now you can just target one ally, and then everyone just grows to that like they just instantaneously go to that stat point. That is insane. I would love to see that. That just seems pretty funny. And of course, you would want to get the thing where it stabilizes. Anything that's temporary becomes permanent, and then boom, all your units just grow crazy. So yeah, Yuumi is nuts. I think the only thing that Yuumi has is that everything gets faded. And yeah, you summon 2 Poros in the beginning, so you can just stay building up on those Poros by constantly switching out attachments. Allies have faded, but when you start up the faded proc, it basically happens twice. So you really just keep focusing on one unit over and over and over, and all your other units will get blessed, which is crazy. I love that. Throw another rock. When an ally attacks, it plays threaded volley. Your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage for each allied landmark. So this is I love that. Oh my god, that's really cool, because this kind of gives you a throwback to how she used to work. If you guys don't remember, Taliyah actually used to work where her passive didn't trigger unless it was a landmark on the field. So you actually just can have a bunch of landmarks and just one Taliyah, boom, it plays a threaded volley. I'm pretty sure that hold on. Threaded volley is her thing, so you don't even need her leveled. I guess this is like a thing if you don't get her for some reason. So yeah, threaded volley does 2 damage to Taliyah's blocker. I'm assuming that'd be weird if it says Taliyah's blocker, but it's attached to her. I'm assuming they're gonna code it that it's attached to the unit. To that blocker, if it's gone, it deals 2 damage to the Nexus instead. So if there's no blocker there at all, you attack with that unit, there's no blocker, they don't want to block it, then that 3 damage will go to the Nexus. It's 2 damage, but it should be 3. There's probably at least 1 landmark on the field. But what's cool about this is that your spell and skills do that for each landmark. You can literally have landmarks on the field and just be literally mystic shotting stuff and just dealing crazy damage. That would be an interesting, very, very interesting like build to try to go, like keeping landmarks on the field that have no countdown and then just pinging their units off or pinging the Nexus would be pretty funny. I love that. And there's actually one more after that, so that's obviously pretty good. I think that helps. Taliyah is like a swarm champion, so it really mostly helps her. There's not too many other skills in the deck, so it just really helps her, and it seems good. I wouldn't rush to get it though. She's already very, very strong. And then last but not least, Kaisa, Wield the Abyss. Round start, create a second skin in hand, which is Kaisa's thing. And when you target an ally with second skin, give it Kaisa's keywords this round. So I have to see how this one worked. This one interests me a lot, and I'm assuming it means that whatever, like if let's say Kaisa, for example, Kaisa has evolve, right? So giving something evolve right off the bat, that's the keyword that she has off base. So with this, I'm immediately giving whatever I target evolve, which could, if I've already triggered evolve, is great. Now, every time you use second skin, you're granting all Kaisas everywhere the positive keywords of that unit. So if I'm giving Kaisa that, then it's bouncing back. And then let's say I copied elusive at one point in the time in the game, theoretically, then when I copy something that doesn't have elusive, it should then give that unit elusive based on this. This will allow her to have like a lot of crazy boosts, especially with like spirit impact, and could get a little bit crazy, especially if I put something on. Let's say I put Deathless on Kaisa throughout the run. I just got it as an augment. Then I'm assuming that I'm giving that unit thing, and it's round start, and second skin is free, and then also second skin now is burst speed. So I can use it. Let's say if I give Kaisa spell shield, or if I just start her off with spell shield, that means that at any point I can give something spell shield as long as I put it on. So let's just say, for example, my current build with her is that I have spell shield. That's on Kaisa, so I should be able with that passive to literally give anything spell shield at burst speed for 0 mana right off the gate. And with that would be nuts. I would say that would be worth it if you like Kaisa. You definitely want to invest into that because that's really, really strong. Also, if it's not for stuff I said, when I'm summoned, give me this. When I'm summoned, give me barrier. Wouldn't work because that means barrier is not on her. But if you second skin barrier, that means you're basically you can basically give someone barrier at a lightning speed. So that would be one of the ones I would invest in pretty strongly. So let's scroll down. I think that as far as these, I definitely want to try out the Aatrox one. Seems crazy. Definitely want to try the Doom of All, like I said, just to see what happens when you summon stuff. That just seems nuts. Vex is the one I would probably do first because it just seems really funny and he was underwhelming to begin with. I think that's pretty cool. Ekko, double stats of predictions should be really strong. And let's see. Oh, and Nora. Absolutely Nora. Nora is just insane. Same thing with Neeko, pretty insane. But we don't know how much resources. But if I had to give you like a do this first, I don't know. Vex I think would win like by a large majority. Nora could win by a large majority, summoning level 2 champions randomly at that. But I think the portals will still abide by the rule, right? So they abide by the rule. I probably should have mentioned it before, but they should still abide by the 2, 4. What is it? 1, 2, and 3 could come out. No, I think 2, 3. Oh my god, hold on. I need to read it. So 2 and 3 are the first one. So if you're getting a champion, it's only 2 or 3 cost champions, and then when she's leveled, it goes up to 7, right? No, it excludes 2 and 3, and then it's 4, 5, 6, and 7 can only come out, and they'll level 2 at all times. Like the variance of that is nuts. That is the content creating thing right there. Like you could play Nora and just summon a bunch of portals until you get like crazy champions in your hand. Like that's the bee's knees. So that would be my thing. I also like the Yuumi one as well, but yeah. Now for the epics, I feel like they just had some, like they kind of added in here. You kind of like shock and awe when an ally attack, like they revamped some of them. So I feel like see like this one. Oh, see look, this is like updated. Void Touch. So this is the one that is gonna get updated like even slightly. Void Touch. This was the old one, +2 +2. Allies with 6+ keywords have +4. That's an updated one. Some of them say updated, right? Like this one's updated because it's play. Ally, Spectral Scissors is updated, but it shouldn't be in powers. It should be in like items. Well, this is everything. So maybe if I go by powers, it would be a little bit better. But yeah, new Bounding Wings. Increase the cost of enemy curses everywhere by 1 when you target an enemy. Oh, so they updated that. So the cost of the curses are just increased. That's pretty cool over time. This like a thing. This one seems like a Lux power. It's a power, but it reads off as if it's like a relic. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not, honestly. So these are obviously coming to the game. This one, icon of the thing, elemental skills and spell. But this is elemental skills and spells deal 2+ damage. I'm assuming this is with something to do with Volibear's celestial thing. Same thing with this. I don't know why if I'm Lux, it just seems weird. Shock and Awe, they're also giving that. That's from the... This is going to obviously be for MF, but they're going to add this into her constellation, which is what they're showcasing there. So I'm assuming that means that the other ones may not have a similar thing because they didn't like do this. Some of these are just their basic ones. I don't know if they're going to be doing other things with it, I guess. No, not legendary, sorry. So, and then there's rare. There's a couple rare ones. These are the new ones that we know about. And when you target an enemy, curse it with shackles. I guess that's the same way. They say updated, but that's the same thing it's always been. I do like this one if you have the attack token. Oh, no, that's the old one. Whatever. Anywho, that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Which ones do you guys think is extremely strong? Which one would you guys, if you had to pick one to invest in immediately, which one would you invest in immediately? Like I said, it's a bit rough. This, like I said, there's some of them that are good, but they're just so win more. It's like it's not exactly interesting. I think the Kaisa one is like very interesting. I think the Lillia one, I want to see someone else do it. I don't want to do it. I want to see someone else do it because I love Lillia, but I feel like that's just such a weird thing that could, like I said, could mess you up. Probably won't. It's most likely fine, but won't do it. Doubling the stats for predictions on Ekko seems nuts. Yeah, it's just a really cool one. And of course, the boy Viego, who will probably get everyone's first attention. And we'll see Viego. We'll 6-star Viego first, and then maybe we'll see what else. We'll see how long it takes, right? Or how much money it takes. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.